All right. So, Lady Mandalore, you want to kick this off?
Oh, Lord, I thought we had a whole routine down, I guess. All right, okay, cool.
Come on, woman, speed.
Kind of went out just a little bit.
So, all right. My first question is a little wordy, but so we all know you've survived being a child star, and you've managed to maintain a level of focus for your life that is super rare, super rare. And I'd be hard pressed to find another name to put alongside you with that type of drive and focus. And you are in a rare position where you need to be protected at all costs, in my eyes. Okay.
That part.
With that said, do you have any thoughts about how you would or could protect new artists coming up or nurture talent within the Black community? That is a heavy question. Feel free to take your time.
I was just thinking about this the other day, you know what I mean? Like, I think a lot of people empowered, you know, that, you know, are very big names can do more. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to like throw anybody under the bus, but there's some big names who really kind of only produce for themselves. You know what I mean? Like, if they produce a movie, they got to be in it. You know what I mean? And stuff like that or whatever. So, you know, I think, you know, we can do more, which is like the main focus of my company, you know, like basically like leveling the ownership, you know, field, basically going from like no ownership at all to a little something, at least, you know what I'm saying? Even if it has to come out of our end or whatever, but maintaining that kind of mentality to like, you know, have a hand in the ownership of it all, because it doesn't make any sense for, you know, an actor to do a legendary role and then, you know, 40 years later, the studio is still making money off of it in various ways, but you know, the performer that made it what it is isn't getting anything except that original paycheck. And if that original paycheck was in the 80s, it might have been like $30. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
You know, it's funny you mentioned that. Considering the fact that you had the writer strike and the actors strike and everything going on this year, you mentioned in your book several things. One of the things you mentioned is the golden age of television, which was your time on all that, which it truly was. It was the 90s. You had a lot of Black performers from Arsenio Hall, Living Single, Martin, you name it, Family Matters. There's tons of content out there that was led by people of color. Do you see that resurgence starting to come back around?
I mean, I think there's a lot of, you know, diversity out there just because there's so many platforms. It's just hard to, you know, kind of zero in on the good ones. You know what I'm saying? Like, if something is good, it might be season 3 before, you know, everybody catches on to it. So it's hard to catch things from the beginning, especially when a lot of things don't even get a 3-season run. You know what I mean? So I think there's a lot more, you know, opportunity just because, you know, there is just naturally more, you know, platforms and businesses and companies out there that can get you out there. But at the same time, you know, there's only so many Delroy Lindos, there's only so many Denzels, there's only so many like really trained actors. You know what I mean? Like, I give it up to Damson Idris, you know what I mean? Because he seems like he's a thoroughly trained individual, and he had a show run recently. And, you know, it ran all the way, it ran its course, you know, and that's rare. But, you know, it takes a combination of real writers, real producers, real directors, and real performers. And a lot of the time you either get like one or two, but not all of those things. And back in the day, you had to have all of those things for the network to approve things for it to move forward. So back, it might have been a little more simpler back in the day, even though it was one at a time kind of thing. It was definitely whole teams around projects. You know what I mean? Like, Martin was started, you know, not just by Martin Lawrence by himself. You know, he had Topical created, he had this person, he had that person, he had the cast around him, you know, and they were all hitters. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't just people that were just like, put me on. You know what I'm saying? It was like they were all thoroughly been in the game for a long time, ready for the moment, and you know, that's when you have that magic in a bottle or whatever. So yeah, it's tough, man, because even though there are so many outlets, there's only so many professionals. So you gotta find the balance. And yeah, those cats that are in power, you know what I mean? Like, do more. You know what I mean? Like, I don't understand why somebody doesn't have Ryan Coogler's next 3 projects just ready to go right now. You know what I'm saying? And stuff like that. So,
the conversations that have been had on this platform.